What are the expectations? What do you infer from that quote right there?
Well, the time is now because, just like he said, that core group, they're not young anymore. They've been around for a long time. Connor's been in this league since he was 18 years old. So he has that experience and I think this is a really interesting point in his career, and I think that he has that perfect mindset for it. He has almost that same kind of look to him as Sidney Crosby, just very focused, young in his career. But a lot of times when players come into this league, superstars, and you get the captaincy at a young age, it's cute and all, like it's okay, cool. Well, now this is the nitty gritty. This is where you earn that letter. And I think Connor McDavid does that because he leads by example. And so now it's about the fine balance of, all right, our team scores goals, but we've got to manage games. We've got to shut some teams down. That's why they went out and got Zach Hyman, which is huge for them. But this core here now has to realize and figure out how are we going to still generate offense by not giving up so much defensively. And that's this balance that they're going to have to do, because you don't want to take away what they do good. We don't want to focus so much on what we need to do better.
Right,
when you're already doing things that are good.
Yeah.
Right, so there's that balance there. I think that when they pick up some players to complement it, it's going to help. But it's about this core group, and it starts with them. If they lead the way and play a particular way, these guys will follow. As you see the additions to this team, Warren Foegele, that is my probably most underrated offseason move. Warren Foegele, I think, is a heck of a grab here by the Edmonton Oilers. I think he's going to pay dividends. I think Zach Hyman, Toronto Maple Leafs are in for a hurting. That loss of him is gigantic. So what are they going to do in Edmonton? We'll have to see. But this is a motivated group led by Connor McDavid.
Why do you like Foegele so much? What does he do specifically on the ice that translates into so much excitement for you?
He's a player that I think he can elevate his game. We've seen him elevate it in the playoffs. He's a player that now will be playing with, and the one thing in Edmonton that we've seen for years is we need to find guys to play with Connor and Leon. And we see Leon and Connor playing together, but that's a lot of times because they don't have anybody else that can generate another line. So now when you get Zach Hyman, we know has played with Austin Matthews and has had some success. No, I think Warren Foegele's got that element of his game. He could play with a little bit of truculence in his game, if you will.
Whoa!
He can go to the net hard. Brian Burke would like that one.
English, art, and science in this show.
He can go to the net hard. He can play in the gritty areas. I think he has the ability to elevate his game come playoff time, and he could just simply have more offense, or he has more offense in his game to give.
Interesting. We also, how about we talk about the guy on the back end, Duncan Keith.
Yeah.
A lot's been made of, that back end, the goaltending situation. Is this a guy who maybe plays with a chip on his shoulder right now? Because a lot of people writing him off, and some of those older core veterans in Chicago, but now a fresh start in Edmonton, getting to play with guys who can get up the ice pretty quick, and Connor McDavid.
I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked at some of the people thinking that this is not a good move. I love this move. I think Duncan Keith brings, what does he bring? What does he, more than his physical attributes, this guy's won.
Three times?
Yes, 3 times. Oh, yeah. This guy's a Norris guy. He's been a Norris guy. Like, he has done everything. Is he a Norris guy now? No, he's not a Norris guy. But those experiences, his professionalism, his ability to come to the rink and keep his team focused, they don't have anybody. They haven't had anybody like that. As great as Connor is, as great as Leon is, they haven't won anything at this level.
Yeah, that's a winner.
This guy has. Bring him in. Let's all of us be sponges and learn from a guy like Duncan Keith.
All right, the time is now. Connor McDavid and the Oilers in the Pacific. Let's do the time is now in the other 3 divisions.
Yeah.
Whose time is it now in the Central?
Ooh, there's probably a few here. I'm going to go with the Colorado Avalanche, though. And the sole reason is this team has been built to win now. It still remains to be built now and will be in the future. But they've got 2 more years left before Nathan McKinnon gets paid. And when he gets paid, you're going to have to take a page out of the book of the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're going to have to restructure this team a lot, because whoever makes the most in the league at that time when Nathan McKinnon signs his deal, there's a good chance this guy will pass that. And he'll be the highest paid player, I think, in the National Hockey League. So you've got this window. That's what's made this team so intriguing over the last couple of seasons, where they've gone out and we've heard rumors. Oh, are they going to get Marc-Andre Fleury? Were they going to go out and make these big splashes and see all these big-name guys? It's because they had players like this that were still on reasonable contracts. And there's going to be a day where that's not going to be the case anymore. So they've got this window. It's now, I don't want to say or never, but these next 2 years, they've got to get it done.
All right, the last 2 years, it seems like they have been the favorite to win the Stanley Cup. I don't know what the odds are, but I would have to think that they're pretty high odds again for them to win the Cup. Where are you as far as Colorado, this is the year that they win the Cup? Or are there other teams that still have their number, do you think?
No, they're right there. They're right there. I think that there's a lot of what ifs. They've lost some players, so it's about how those other players step in. The one thing I will say, I actually, people, I'll wait for my phone to blow up on this one, but I think they made an upgrade in net. I think Darcy Kemper is an upgrade from Phil Grubauer, who I think is unbelievable. But Darcy Kemper, for what he did there in Arizona at times, he has injury issues just like Phil Grubauer. That's my main concern there.
Yep.
But they're not losing anything with getting Darcy Kemper. I actually think with his size, they may have taken a little step in the right direction.
When healthy, both certainly at the top of their game. You might want to put that on silent right now. That's cool. All right, the time is now. Metro. Who jumps off the page for you?
I'm going to say the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the Pittsburgh Penguins, it comes back to contract situations as well and what you're going to do. They've got Chris Letang and they've got Evgeny Malkin entering their last year of their contract. Is that a cloud that's going to be over this team? Is that going to be something that we're hearing about? Those players are asked about all the time. This group, when you have Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang on a roster, you're going to have a chance to win every single season. This is tough. Look at the one key right there, too. Look at Brian Rust. That 3.5, let me tell you something. There is 31 other teams in this league that would give him a handsome payday. So are they going to be able to afford Brian Rust? Are they going to go out and step out and do those things? There's a lot of what-ifs surrounding the Pittsburgh Penguins, but the one thing I do know is this team's still capable of winning right now, so they need to get it done here, I think, in the season.
All right, so how about the time is now for the Atlantic Division? Which team?
Yeah, the Atlantic Division, I'm going to get a little cutesy with this one. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Lightning because they have won the last 2 times.
Yeah.
So, but the reason why I say that is the time is now for them. If they're going to keep winning, or if they're going to win another one, it has to happen now. It's just going to get harder and harder as each season goes on. We've seen it the last 2 years. If it wasn't for, again, I don't want notifications on my phone on this one.
Oh, no.
If it wasn't for the LTIR for Nikita Kucherov, a lot of you fans thinking certain things about that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't have probably gotten it done this year.
The time was up.
And that contract right there, when you look at some of these players and the amount of years locked up, I mean, they're in great hands, but it's about finding that right mix. And every year, like this summer, they lost the gut of their lineup. And they're going to have to do that same thing next year and the next year and next year. They're going to have a lot of players on entry-level deals or very reasonable, maybe reclamation projects in this league. They've got to have players overachieving, I think, and it's got to happen soon. It's going to get harder as each season goes on here.
I like it. You certainly took that one in a different direction. I'm going to speak for the masses out there that, especially in Canada, Toronto, is the time now for that team? And if it doesn't happen this year, do you have to just kind of blow it up?
I think the only reason why it has to be now is because of the fans, to be honest with you. The fans, that they don't settle for anything less, and nor should they. I mean, you're talking about the biggest hockey market in all of the world, I think. So the fact that they want a winner, I respect that. But at the same time, this team, if they don't win the Cup, that doesn't mean they're never going to. This is a good group they've got here, and they're locked in with this group. They made those decisions. Kyle Dubas signed those guys. See it through. I think the biggest thing for them, just show improvement. So I'm not totally there with them. Okay. It's more so because there's going to be backlash if they don't win.
The time is always now.
It's always now. It's been now for the last 50 years for this organization.
Exactly.